Medicare changes happening everywhere. Oh my gosh, the fear factor. What am I supposed to do? It's all over the TV, all over the radio, everywhere. What am I supposed to focus on? Hi, my name is Christopher Westfall. I do Medicare for a living. I'm a licensed insurance agent in over 46 states, and I want to break down for you to make it very simple for you and your loved ones who may be on Medicare or joining Medicare. What do I have to do during this period of time in the year? What's changing for next year? And what should I pay attention to and what should I just leave alone? Let's make it real simple for you starting right now. First of all, what's happening in the Medicare Advantage world for 2020? 1.1 million people are going to lose their coverage with Medicare Advantage. Now, that's not a scary thing because if they lose their coverage, they've got options to go other places. They've got options to do other things. But really, 337 Medicare Advantage plans that they enjoyed in 2019 will no longer be there. That's kind of the nature of the game. It's just a moving shell game of what's available, what changes, and all that kind of thing. And there's a memo from CMS that's kind of hard to pull up from February of 2019 where they talk about they're going to end the moratorium on the law. The Federal Register 42.510 paragraph A, subsection 4, subsection 11 says that CMS, that's the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, can terminate the contract with a Medicare Advantage plan. Remember, these are private plans contracted by the government. They get government money to run private plans and do it efficiently to save money. If they have 3 or more years of 2.5 stars, that's the star rating from 1 to 5 of how good a plan is. If they have 3 years running of less than 3 stars, then CMS had the right under the law to yank that plan and terminate it. Well, the way the insurance lobby is, that's always been put off. They've had a moratorium on enforcing that. Well, that is no more. As of 2019, that's being done away with. So specifically in the law, this is going to be the first year that they're going to be able to look at the star rating on a particular plan, either a Part D drug plan or a full-fledged Medicare Advantage plan, because they're both governed by the same laws. And if they're going to be 3 years of less than 3-star performance, that can yank one of the plans. But that's not what's been happening up to this point, because the moratorium protecting these plans has been in place. No, the reason why they'd be terminating a plan is more to do with profitability. Maybe it's just not making them that much money. In addition to that, an additional 3 million people will be automatically moved from their current plan. Now, this includes Part D drug plans as well, and Medicare Advantage plans, from 2019 to 2020 into a different plan with what they consider to be significant changes. 3 million people are affected by that. How you will know is when you get your annual notice of change letter. Typically that should arrive before October 1. So you should have received a letter from your carrier, from your Part D drug company or your Medicare Advantage plan with your ANOC letter in it, talking about what the benefit was, what the benefit's going to be for the next year. Got to pay close attention to that. These 3 million people are just going to be rolled into another plan. You don't necessarily have to go seek out another plan, but it might be in your best interest to do so because there could be significant changes to what you enjoyed and what you expected before. Of that 3 million people affected, 744,000 of them are in non-renewing standalone drug plans. And the other 2 million are Medicare Advantage plans that are either not going to be renewing, they're going to be walking into another plan, maybe even with a different plan name. Lots of shuffling, as you can see here. What happens if you don't take action? If you're on one of these affected plans where you're getting a change letter that says that you've got to make a decision, you've got to go to a different plan. If you don't, you could come into January with a terminated plan and just be back on original Medicare with absolutely nothing. That's possible for the 1.1 million people. Just have no coverage whatsoever. So typically, if your plan's leaving the market, they'll give you another month of a special election period so that in January, when you realize you have no coverage, you can figure it out, and then that coverage can be made effective for February 1, either for a Part D drug plan that had been terminated or for a Medicare Advantage plan that had been terminated. If you discover it in January, there's still time. You can sign up in January. All changes with Medicare Advantage happen on the 1st of the next month. So in January, if you miss this information and don't take action, in January, you may be without coverage for a Medicare Advantage or Part D drug plan. I'm going to talk about the difference between Medicare Supplement and Medicare Advantage and what you have to do with both. Needless to say, here are the few of those standalone Part D drug plans that are going to have what they consider to be significant feature changes. So the old plans of Aetna, as you may remember, Aetna had to divest itself of their Part D drug plan in order to be acquired by CVS. So CVS bought Aetna, and in that merger, they told the Justice Department that they would not have too much of a monopoly. They would give up their Part D drug plan. They sold that to WellCare. And so the Aetna Medicare RX Saver is becoming the WellCare Medicare RX Saver. And similarly, Humana is changing their name. Their Walmart plan has now become the Humana Premier RX plan, and so on. This is just a small sampling, but the one that's affecting the most people here is, actually it's the Humana one, but I thought it was going to be the Aetna one, because we had a lot of people with Aetna move over to now WellCare. They bought the whole block, and I hope that that goes smoothly. We will see. Big significant change there. And then here are some Medicare Advantage reassignments, just basically changing plan names and some benefits here. But this AERP, Medicare Complete Choice Plan 2, is affecting all counties in Florida. When I was a Florida resident and had to go to school there, I had to learn that there were 67 counties in Florida. So that's absolutely everybody. Lots of change affecting a lot of people there. So let's talk about the two types of Medicare coverage and what different people on the different two types of Medicare coverage would have to pay attention to for the new year. As you may already know, especially from our videos where we go in depth on this, there's a Medicare Advantage side of the house. That's the private insurance paid for by Medicare. Basically, you're not tapped into the Part A and Part B benefits of Medicare anymore. You've replaced that with what they call Part C, which is out of A and out of B and into C, where the Medicare Advantage company then is responsible for all your benefits. They don't have to cover everything the way Medicare did. They have to cover the category that Medicare did. So anyway, that's the private option. Then you've got Medicare Supplement, which assumes you're staying in Medicare, Part A and Part B. That's the Medicare that you earned all of your working life. So we're going to take a look at what do you have to do on a Medicare Supplement every year? What do you have to do on a Medicare Advantage plan every year? Now, within these plans, you have different subtypes. So like on Medicare Advantage, you have Part D, which is also a part of Medicare Advantage. And even the people with original Medicare and a Medicare Supplement will pick up a Part D drug plan. We've talked about the horrible thing that can happen if you don't get a drug plan to cover you. They can penalize you for the rest of your life later on when you decide, yes, you need a drug plan all of a sudden. So even Medicare Supplement people will get a Part D drug plan, but that does fall, and as far as Washington goes, under the category of Medicare Advantage. It can change every year. The benefits can go up, they can go down, they can change their formulary, they can change their network, all that kind of thing that affects Part D as well. On Medicare Supplements, they have Plan F, Plan G, Plan N. These are the most common Medicare Supplement plans. And these are plans within parts. So there's parts of Medicare, A, B, D. Then there's plans within Medicare Supplement. Plan F covered absolutely everything. It can no longer be sold after January. We'll talk about that in a minute. Medicare Plan G covers everything except for the Part B deductible. Remember, Part B of Medicare is the outpatient side. So Plan G covers everything except for that deductible. And then Plan N, which I did a really cool video talking about Plan N in depth and why I firmly believe, and have for now 2 years, that going forward, Plan N will be the most value-conscious plan where you're going to save the most money on a Medicare Supplement. Look at plannmedicare.org, www.plannmedicare.org for that briefing on that. It's valuable and worth it. Of these plans, we have a difference. Every single year on the Medicare Advantage side, you're going to get this annual notice of change, or you'll get the notice that your plan is terminating, or that they're leaving the area, or that you've left the service area, or something's happened to interrupt your plan. And with the annual notice of change, you will find differences in different categories. You have to look carefully when you do. Because sometimes you'll be able to just look at it with a fine-tooth comb and look with your magnifying glass and see, oh my gosh, this changed. My doctor's no longer in the network. They're not using this hospital system anymore. Whatever it is, you better pay very close attention. You've got from October, when you get the ANOC letter at the beginning, till December 7th to decide what you're going to do. Anything that you decide is going to happen in January. Or you could be on the Medicare Supplement plan, otherwise known as Medigap. On the Medicare Supplement plan, whatever you signed your contract with them for, your application, is literally written in stone. It's written in stone. It's not going to change. So you might say to me, but Chris, I've heard that Plan F is going away, which was the most popular plan. I didn't sell it because it was a horrible deal, but Plan F is going away. No, what's happening is Plan F based on a law in Congress called the Medicare whatever Act, MACRA. As of January 1, 2020, no longer can they sell a plan that pays for the Part B deductible for you. Congress wanted people to have skin in the game. So what happens to the people who sign that ironclad, that rock solid contract of having an application for Plan F? They get to keep it. If you bought a Plan F, you get to keep it. Way back in the day before Medicare modernization happened in 2010, people could buy Plan J. J as in Juliet. It was kind of like Plan F, but a version of Plan J had drug plan included in it. Well, when they came out with the Part D program, George Bush did, they didn't want that anymore, so they got rid of Plan J going forward. Everyone that had it before, though, gets to keep it, just like that rock right there. So if you had Plan F, you can keep it. It's not like if you like your doctor, you can keep it, that Obama said. No, this is real. You could keep your Plan F. I don't recommend it. Your agent should have advised you already to get off of that Plan F, but hey, I never sold it in the first place. So I would recommend getting a different plan than Plan F, but the point is this. Every year it's going to stay the same. Every year it's still going to cover the same thing. The only thing that can change with your Medicare supplement is the price that you pay. And they typically go up every year based on the cost of doing business, medical cost inflation. So as long as you pay the premium, they are guaranteed renewable, just like life insurance. So Medicare supplements rock solid. On the Medicare Advantage plan, not so much. You've got a change every year. You've got potential network changes, copay changes, deductible changes, hospital network changes, region changes, plan name changes. All the benefits could change, or they could just simply terminate that entire plan, and you have to go find another one. On a Medicare Advantage plan, important to remember, you are locked into a calendar year contract. At the end of that calendar year, all bets are off. They can continue that plan with a different change to it, or they can terminate that plan. That's a 1-year contract. At the end of that contract, could you go back to a Medicare supplement and original Medicare if you wanted to? Original Medicare, yes. Supplement, not so much. After that, unless there's a special exception, you have to go get underwriting to get on a good Medicare supplement plan. Now, if you are terminated from your Medicare Advantage plan, you could qualify for a special election period where you can get the most expensive Medicare supplement. That's true. I wouldn't advise it. The best time to get a Medicare supplement is when you're in good health and you can qualify for it, or when you're first turning 65. Within 6 months, either side of turning 65, you can get a Medicare supplement with no questions asked. That's your open enrollment period. So anyway, on Part D or Medicare Advantage, you better look at it very carefully every single year. On Medicare supplement, nothing to do. Just chill out. You're good to go. Nothing to worry about. Just the same thing. So we talked about the different parts. On Medicare Advantage, just to remind you, October 15th through December 7th, that thing that you keep hearing about on the news, that's the period in which you can look at different plan options. And whatever you decide, the last thing that you decide, let's say you picked one Medicare Advantage plan, and then, oh my gosh, you see another Medicare Advantage plan, it's even better. Then I see another one, it's even better. Whichever the last application in is, the last application wins, and that's what's going to kick in on January 1st. Same thing with your Part D drug plan. Interesting side note, if you're in your initial election period, that is you're turning 65, and you pick a Medicare Advantage plan or a Part D drug plan during your initial election period, and then you decide, wait a minute, I'm still in my initial election period, let me go pick a different Medicare Advantage plan or a different Part D plan. No, can't do it. That's a one-shot deal. However, during the annual enrollment period that happens at the end of every year, you can sign up for as many different plans as you want. It's the last one in that wins, and will lock you in for January 1st. Medicare supplement, nothing to do every year. Not a thing. Today as I record this, it's October 15th. It's the launch of the year. I've written 3 applications. My room in there has written a lot of applications trying to help people get to better plans, get off of Medicare Advantage plans in many cases. But I'll tell you this, not only do you not have to call your agent during the annual enrollment period if you have a Medicare supplement plan, you don't. Nothing's changing for you. Medicare supplement just continues trotting along. But you should, at least every 2 years, review the cost of your Medicare supplement, because there's a huge deviation, huge differential from the most expensive to the least expensive, and they creep up every year. So I believe, as an independent agent, I don't work for the insurance company. I work for my clients, and it doesn't cost them anything. But I think that we should look at those plans carefully, look at the entire market again, and see if your health qualifies you to move into a cheaper plan every year. The benefits, exactly the same. Your doctor doesn't care if you're paying too much or if you got a good deal. He's going to treat you the same way. The benefits are with Medicare. The deductible, if you're doing the Part B deductible with Plan G or Plan N, that deductible is with Medicare. It's not with the insurance company. So nothing changes except for your premium, and we should look at that from time to time. Maybe not necessarily in the middle of the crunch period when everybody's doing this craziness over here on the Medicare Advantage side. That may not be the time that you have to look at your Medicare Supplement rate, because everybody over here is freaking out about all the benefit changes. I'm just saying. So that's kind of an update overview on who's losing their coverage, a lot of people, who needs to look at their coverage because things are changing, and you need to pay very close attention if that's you to get into another Medicare Advantage plan. If that's what you're so inclined to do, shop those benefits through an independent agent. Don't just call a television commercial that's got cute dogs and beer commercials mixed in with Medicare Advantage saying free, 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 free. Really encourage you to go with somebody who's got some experience in the industry. Someone who knows how they treat their customers over there at XYZ Medicare Advantage Company. A lot of them are sprouting up around the country because it's a very profitable business. I saw one estimate that $1,600 in profit per year per person that the insurance company makes on a Medicare Advantage case. They don't make near that on an individual plan. Like the old individual health plans don't make anywhere near that kind of profit. Medicare Advantage is where it's at for the private companies, but I'm here to help if you ever need an independent voice to walk you through your confusion possibly, or where you're at, look at what the opportunities are. My number is here at the top of the screen. It's 800-729-9590. My name is Chris Westfall. I'm probably licensed in your state. I had a funny email today. A gentleman wrote me an email and said, "Hey Chris, I took your advice. I called in, got your information, and then I took it to a local agent. It was really hard in my local market to find somebody who specialized in Medicare. I kept looking and I kept looking, but I finally found someone, and I just want to thank you for clarifying everything and giving me the information I needed so I could take it to my local agent." Like, why would you take it to a local agent? If I'm providing value for you, maybe you could just let me help you with the plan. It doesn't cost any more if you go through a local agent who's going to make you come down to his office or her office, or come over to your house, which is maybe worse, when we can just help you simply over the phone. We can send you a presentation like this specific to you to show you what your options are, and do the enrollment entirely over the phone now. It's so easy, very unintrusive. We don't need paper contracts anymore. We don't have to mail you anything or fax anything back. It's just very easy to work with my office. That's the whole point. Eliminate confusion, make it easy, and then be accountable to you when you have challenges, when you have questions, and then as things change throughout your Medicare career. So I'm Chris Westfall. Thanks for watching the video. If there's anything I can do to help, or if this information could help somebody that you love that's on Medicare, please share it with them. Oh, and make sure you subscribe. The information that we're going to update you with is all the changes happening to Medicare. There's supposed to be some good ones for next year that are still waiting to be announced by the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services. So subscribe if you would, and share this information maybe on your Facebook page to other people. That'd be great. Or an email to a group that you retired with maybe. That'd be awesome. It happens all the time. Love to help those folks. Thanks, y'all. Have a good one. Bye-bye.